So when was the last time your teacher asked you to do a word search or unscramble a word that turned out to be, the N word or the R word or, fat or basically anything else super offensive? What? Never? Oh, that's never happened to you? Well, it happened to a 7th grade class in Killeen, Texas. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and let's go over this story. Appalling and extremely disturbing, Killeen ISD teacher fired after giving students an assignment with offensive and racial slurs. Alright, so this is one of the times where I have read the article and watched videos in advance to make sure that it was stuff that I can show on YouTube, and I think for the most part it is going to be fine, albeit, wildly offensive, but it's still very interesting news that I think is important to cover because there's a lot of ambiguity in terms of how this happened. So let's go through this together. First, we're going to watch this video, read the article, there'll be another video, and I have a theory as to how this happened after all that. So let's strap in and check out the video, the news coverage first.
Killeen ISD parents are outraged after their kids were told to do an assignment filled with racial slurs and offensive words. The teacher who created the assignment was removed from the school district, but parents are still not understanding.
Ooh, look at the professionalism there. Did something just fall off her face and she catch it? Hold on a sec.
School districts, but parents are still not understanding how.
Perfect save, girl.
News reporter Adriana Alexander has more on how it happened and the district's response.
I'm here at Rancier Middle School in Killeen, where a 7th grade classroom was assigned to unscramble insensitive and offensive words and then make sentences out of them. Now, parents are furious and want to know why this teacher was able to do this and how this was able to happen. A 7th grade student took their classroom assignment from Rancier Middle School to their after-school program. An employee noticed the vulgar content on the pages, contacted parents, who then immediately notified the district. The worksheet included the words fat, stupid, idiot, ugly, and many other offensive words.
Now, right here, they're about to say that there's some they can't show for television. Yes, there are plenty that are blurred out, including the N-word, crackhead, another word for female dog. It is insane. And this was being called a trigger words lesson. Now, I truly don't know if this was a left-wing teacher who is trying to teach kids about trigger words in some very weird indoctrination lesson, or if it was a right-wing teacher who was trying to own the libs. It really could go either way, because Texas, as we know, is insane. Sometimes in some really good ways. This is not one of those times.
That we cannot display on television. Not long after KISD was made aware of the assignment, Superintendent Dr. John Kraft sent a letter to parents and staff. It reads in part, "The assignment does not align with the core values of the district, and the district deeply regrets the assignment was ever created." He also said the teacher no longer worked for the district. KISD parent Brianna Green says she's now lost trust in what the district is teaching her kids, and firing the teacher was not enough.
What if this whole incident would have triggered a student to act out, or to, there's so many factors. So just firing the teacher, I'm sorry, the district has to be responsible.
This was the teacher's first time ever teaching at Killeen ISD. At 6, hear more from the superintendent as he shares how the district is making sure that this never happens again. In Killeen, Adriana Alexander, 6 News.
Now, remember how she said that this was the teacher's first time teaching in Killeen? I want you to remember that. I'll loop back to it later, but I want you to remember that because that is, will have to do with what my theory is to what happened. That being said, I guess it's true. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the balls on a teacher that would do something like this. Also, did you notice the type of worksheets they were doing? They look like something an elementary schooler would do. Color the picture with colors that correlate to these offensive words, or, draw lines to match the word to its corresponding definition. These were packets and worksheets that were passed out to a 7th grade class. They're giving them work that, were the words different, were the words, not supremely offensive and inappropriate, would be given to, 3rd graders, but 7th grade? And you'll wonder why the Asians are beating us. That being said, let's go ahead and go through the article. We'll watch another video, and then I will show you an interesting piece of information. Editor's note, 6 News has chosen not to include some of the words listed on the assignment due to their offensive nature. A Killeen Independent School District teacher was fired after giving students an assignment that was filled with an offensive and racial slurs, according to a letter from Superintendent Dr. John Kraft. Kraft sent the letter on Thursday to parents of students at Rancier Middle School. This assignment does not support nor reflect Killeen ISD's core values. The letter reads, "There is no argument to condone such an offensive gesture, and we deeply regret the assignment was ever created or distributed to even a small group of students." Now, this is completely unrelated, but Colleen has a problem. I remember my first real big boy job, like the first job I got when I was 18 that wasn't, food service or anything to that effect. I'm actually working in an office. Two of the dumbest individuals I've ever met in my entire life, just completely nothing in their brain, were from Killeen, Texas. It was so strange. It was like there was something in the water there. Probably whiskey. It is Texas. But they drank all that as a child, and it gave them permanent brain damage because these people were morons. One was a male, one was a female, one was black, one was white. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. The straight up diversity and both of them being complete numbskulls. It was, frankly, looking back on it now, almost hilarious when I see something like this happening in a Killeen school, because this must not be something new. I'm wondering if Killeen has always had issues like this. Let's continue. The assignment listed 10 words, including the N-word, crackhead, and bitch. It asked the students to do things like unscramble them, write them 5 times, and use them in a sentence. Oh yeah, by the way, the whole using them in a sentence, the students were writing your, Y-O-U-R, like you're a R word, or you're a, B word, but they weren't using the correct your because they should have been using Y-O-U''re, so the teacher couldn't even teach them basic contractions. Parent Barbara Fogelsong posted photos of the assignment to her Facebook page on January 18th. She said her daughter saw the assignment and brought it home to show her mother. Fogelsong says she alerted KISD right away. As a district, we expect and will continue to demand high expectations and assignments that challenge students to reach their full academic potential, Dr. Kraft wrote in this letter. The classwork was inappropriate, insensitive, and failed miserably to support our mission. The district did not identify the teacher. Oh, it's a good thing they didn't identify the teacher, because this is Texas. They would just hog-tied that individual, driven them down the street with the back of their pickup trucks, maybe her face dangling next to the truck nuts or something. I say her. I don't know if the teachers are her. Like I said, the identity has not been given. Just statistically speaking, the vast majority of teachers are female, but it could have been a male. That's just my own bias. The assignment was given to 7th graders, according to the district. Kraft said this was the teacher's first year with KISD. KISD parent, Brianna Green, said firing the teacher is not enough and that she's lost trust in the district after this incident. I mean, hey, it's been being said for a while. Homeschool your kids. What if this whole incident would have triggered a student to act, or, there's so many factors, so just firing the teacher is not enough. The district has to be responsible, Green shared. The full letter to the parents is below. Dear Rancier parents and staff, Killeen ISD immediately launched an investigation upon learning of an appalling and extremely disturbing assignment distributed by a now former Rancier middle school teacher. The assignment does not support nor reflect Killeen ISD's core values. There is no argument to condone such an offensive gesture, and we deeply regret the assignment was ever created and distributed to even a small group of students. As a district, we expect and will continue to demand high expectations and assignments that challenge students to reach their full academic potential. The classwork was inappropriate, insensitive, and failed miserably to support our mission. The district continues to investigate and interview all people who may have had knowledge of this atrocious matter. We regret that this incident occurred, and we are committed to dealing with these types of situations expeditiously. The parents of the students in the class affected by this matter have been personally contacted by the campus principal. We reiterate that any behavior like this will not be tolerated in Killeen ISD. And here is the conference, which is the second video we're going to watch. It mostly just kind of relays a little bit of what we heard, but I want you to listen to how he speaks, because it just, at least in my opinion, does not inspire a lot of confidence.
John Kraft, John, CRAFT, Superintendent of Schools here in Killeen ISD. Unfortunately, we were made aware of a very concerning assignment that was distributed across a small group of students.
You notice how he talks like a white Obama? Let me be clear. We've received word that some very disturbing paperwork was sent out to your children. But instead of having that nice baritone that Obama had that was real nice and soothing to listen to, sounds kind of weaselly. Maybe it's no big deal. It's just something I found interesting.
Small class, less than a dozen students. Earlier this week, we were made, notified Wednesday evening. We immediately
I bet he doesn't even speak with all the ums and uhs in real life. What we're not seeing is if the camera turns around, there's a lot of angry redneck parents with guns trained on him. That way if he slips up once, they're just gonna, bang, blow the shine off his bald head.
Immediately began the investigation Thursday morning. Once we determined that this was in fact an assignment that the teachers and the staff within this particular classroom had not only created but distributed to students, we took immediate personnel action. Obviously the assignment does not reflect our core values. It does not align anywhere close to any form of a learning standard that we obviously promote throughout the school district. And so like I say, there's just no room and no excuse. Again, immediate personnel action has been taken. We notified all of the parents via phone call, a personal phone call, the students in that class, and then we also, I think you've probably seen a letter of the correspondence that we sent to all staff and all parents of Rancier Middle School. Again, we are terribly upset and sorry that this occurred. This has no place in any classroom. I think I can safely say across the United States, but particularly here in Killeen ISD, we will not condone this type of behavior, activity, and much less lesson planning and instructional activities.
Alright, so with that, we're going to move to where my conspiratorial mind is taking this, because, you know, when I saw this, I thought, there's no way. There has to be something deeper in this. No teacher just wakes up in the morning and says, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to give my kids a word jumble that says the N-word, bitch, retard, crackhead. I am gonna go out of my way to do everything I can to get fired, because that sounds like fun. Like, that's not what a normal teacher would do. Why would you go through 4 years of incredibly expensive school, throw it all away and get fired on, if it was a practical joke, not even a good practical joke? But then I did a little bit more digging and I found this. The KISD board to vote on uncertified teacher waiver expansion on Tuesday. Now, the reason I came across this was I read several versions of this story because I was really digging to try and find this teacher's name. I wanted to find their name. I wanted to put their picture on here because I wanted to know what this teacher's personality was like, what their political leanings were. I wanted all this information because maybe it would give me some sort of clue. And one comment, by the way, didn't find all that stuff, obviously, or it'd be in the video, but one comment under a video or an article that I read that was covering this asked if it was one of the uncertified teachers that Killeen has been dealing with for the last 2 years. And I thought, what? Uncertified teachers? So I then did a Google search for that, read some articles. Killeen, Texas has such a teacher shortage. They are allowing uncertified teachers to teach just to take care of that. So let me read through here and we'll get to my thoughts. Killeen ISD School Board will vote on a proposal Tuesday to expand teacher certification exemptions. So expand a lack of certifications for teachers 2 weeks after more than a dozen sign language interpreters were fired for being uncertified. According to the district's agenda, the Killeen ISD Board of Trustees will vow to approve a proposed amendment to the 2020 to 2025 District of Innovation Plan to expand teacher certification exemptions. By becoming a District of Innovation, KISD may sidestep many of the Texas Education Code requirements similar to Texas charter schools. For instance, according to district documents, KISD is requesting to be exempt from Texas Education Code 21.003, 21.053, and 21.057. Now, granted, while these are all decimals, I doubt any of these uncertified teachers could actually give me, these decimals, like maybe on a pie chart or on a graph, figure out what they actually mean. In an attempt to hire more non-certified career and technical education candidates in an associate degree and or the appropriate work-related professional certification in a particular course of study for the job which they are applying. So basically what this means is, yo, we're running out of reading teachers. Yo, homeboy, this is a 5th grade class. What's your reading level? It's about a 6.3, 6th grade, 3rd month. Perfect, that's all you need to teach 5th graders. You hired. An amendment to the plan is requested to expand the teacher certification exemptions due to the critical shortage of certified educators as a result of the increase in teacher vacancies due to retirement rates and fewer teacher candidates graduating from higher ed, university-based programs. The district's board agenda states the teacher certification waivers will provide more equitable and diverse pool of teachers, because that's what we need, a more equitable and diverse group of teachers. How about we have teachers that know, not to give your kids packets, especially 7th graders that, should be well beyond that sort of remedial packet work, that have the N-word in them. I am truly flabbergasted that I should be flabbergasted, but frankly, well, it's Texas. Tuesday's meeting will be the last school board meeting of 2022. Other items for the board consideration. Okay, so this part doesn't matter. Like I said, this was an old article. It's from December 5th of last year, but it verified my wonderings of, wait, is Killeen, Texas really hiring uncertified teachers? Lo and behold, they truly are. So if I had to guess, the whole reason this loops back is, while it has not been confirmed, this is just my personal theory, I'm willing to bet this was one of those uncertified teachers. That's why they had never taught in Killeen before, because they were new to the school district this year. The 2022-2023 school year rolls around, they need more teachers, they hire Joe or Jane Blow off the street because, well, let's face it, they're running out of teachers. This teacher has an agenda, whether it be a left-leaning or right-leaning agenda, or maybe they're just, certifiably insane. That's the one certification this teacher does have, as an insanity certification, and they decide to pull this stunt with these horrendously offensive and purely anti-educational worksheets and packets. That is just my theory. Hopefully more information will come out. If it does, I will do a follow-up video to this. But yeah, that is the story. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, can you believe this is happening? I can. It's Texas. Has this made you wonder if maybe you should homeschool your kids? At the end of the day, let me know what you think in the comments below, or on Twitter, where you can follow me at BoltTheWord. And I promise you, I keep saying this in my recent videos, we will get back to nerdy news. There's just been so much other insanity I feel like I've had to cover. The Steven Crowder stuff, this. I mean, what a glorious news week for a channel like mine that loves absolute cringe and insanity. But if you do want more nerdy stuff, well, I just did do a video that you should probably watch where we go over the new OGL survey that Dungeons & Dragons Wizards of the Coast has put out. Frankly, it's awful. Don't fall for it. Maybe Magic the Gathering or anime is more up your alley. I've got videos on those as well, but all the nerdy news is here in the nerdosphere, so please subscribe, because this has been Words of Paradise.